All right, so these are the last two problems on the factoring completely classwork problems that you put in the Google form. So in this first one, number 9, again, you always ask yourself, is there a GCF? And clearly there's not because they're two different variables. So our only other option would be having a difference of two squares. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up our double bubble, two sets of parentheses, plus minus, square root y to the fourth. Remember, you cut your exponent in half. So that's y squared, and then you square root x to the fourth, cut your exponent in half. Okay? That is a sum of two squares, and we don't factor those yet. That will stay as is. And for the next one, that is a difference of two squares, so you can factor that one time further. So you are going to put down your two parentheses, your plus minus, square root y squared, you get y and y. Square root x squared, you get x and x. Now nothing else can be factored, so those are your three factors. Now for number 10, again, you ask yourself, is there a GCF? There is no GCF, and it's not a difference of two squares. It's got three terms. So this is another fancy trinomial factoring, where we're going to group it. You multiply your 1 and 16, you get 16. Two numbers that multiply to 16 that add to negative 8 is what we're looking for. So I'm just going to use my negative factors. I'm going to skip the positive ones. Negative 1 and negative 16, negative 2, negative 8, negative 4, negative 4. So which pair here adds to negative 8? That would be negative 4, negative 4. Now the trick here is when we're breaking up this 8x squared, negative 8x squared, remember it has to add to negative 8x squared. So you have to give it an x squared. So when you add like terms, you have 4x squared, and 4x squared would give you negative 8x squared. So you're really just breaking up that middle term. Before it was always an x, but we got to keep the variable and its exponent there. Then you just bring down y to the fourth, x to the fourth, and 16. Now we group it. Factor out your x squared, that's your GCF here, and negative 4 is your GCF here. So this becomes x squared times x squared minus 4. And then you have your negative 4 times x squared minus 4. Okay, now here's your common factor. X squared minus 4. And then your x squared minus 4 goes next to it. Now we just have another set of dots, difference of two squares. So we're going to double bubble this guy and then double bubble this guy. And they're both going to break up into the same thing because they're the same factor. So this one becomes plus minus, and then you square root your x squared, you get x2, x minus 2. And then here you square root, get your x minus, Square root 4, you get 2 and 2. It's very messy, I apologize, but so some people got a little fancier and they wrote it as x plus 2 squared and then x minus 2 squared. But that's not necessary. You don't have to write that. You just keep it like that. So those are some possibilities of how you could have written your answer, but I would just say keep it in its simplest form. All right, so hopefully this helped and it made a little bit more sense.